This video, this animation celebration was prompted by the most recent retro review and how Enemy of the State kind of had me down on the government. And, I was like, they got the best interest of the country. I don't know. I don't feel like it. So I was like, I wanna feel something positive and upbeat. So I saw this animated movie. I was like, that's it's a pretty animation art style. It's called America the Motion Picture. Give it a shot. But what you should give a shot is my 68-page graphic novel, Everlasting Survivors, Volume 1, all day long. This is cover A by Jeff Hicks. This is cover B by Nick Crook. There are also C, D, and E covers. There are hats and shirts and posters available if you follow the link in the description. After the open rolls, I'll review America the Motion Picture. America the Motion Picture from 2021 runs 1 hour and 38 minutes. Animation celebration. I have never seen an all-white eagle before, but it isn't all white long because an explosion of TNT, but spelled like TEA, the drink, gets soot on the all-white eagle, and it looks like a traditional one after the explosion. What is going on with this timeline? George Washington and Abraham Lincoln are himbos. Thanks for bringing that term to my knowledge, Brandon. George and Abe are at a theater. I think the one where Lincoln got killed, but given the loose nature of this story, they could have changed that too. The bros are here to see the red, white, and blue man group. It's like, it's more ludicrous than it is funny. I haven't laughed at anything. Maybe I need a drink. Benedict Arnold tries to tell Abraham Lincoln that he is with the king, but Abe thinks Arnold is coming out of the closet. I do not understand the so-called humor of this thing. 5 minutes in, and I haven't laughed once. I don't think I've even smiled, just looked and felt confused. Now Benedict Arnold is a werewolf. Why is Arnold being put on a pedestal and given all the good lines and fun gimmicks? George Washington is so dumb. They killed Abe in less than 10 minutes. Why was this thing made? Couldn't they have at least popped up a graphic saying in an alternative universe or something to clarify what is the purpose of this movie? The only positive in this movie is that the animation itself is smooth and worthy of celebration. If only the story was different, I think the art style is, good or competent, but the story is not pulling me in. 11 minutes and 9 seconds before we see the title graphic. This feels like it's going to be a long and rough ride. I literally restarted the movie to see if I missed something. Like, it's just so frustrating, the fact that I can't get into the story. John Hancock won a game of beer pong to be the one to decide how the Declaration of Independence begins. Man, this thing is super dumb. Not a fan at all. It was mildly amusing seeing the Ford logo on the theater where Abraham Lincoln and George Washington are, I guess, but it isn't, a great big joke or something. Speaking of something, this movie keeps saying taxation or something taxation, as if that's supposed to be some great joke, but it isn't. It's like, it's not hard to say no taxation without representation. Like, the movie's just lazy and frustrating. The worst thing this movie did so far, which it is saying a lot, is pop up the phrase "based on actual history" up on the screen. If anyone is dumb enough to believe that, I feel bad for them. Never mind, it gets worse. At Abraham Lincoln's funeral, George Washington is now misquoting John 3:16. I really wish that I wasn't reviewing this movie for the channel, and to think I popped it on to try and have some positive feelings for America because of the negative I was feeling toward the government after watching Enemy of the State. So after George Washington misquotes John 3:16, that's followed up by the ridiculous line of, "George Washington, you invented peanut butter." This movie is terrible. George and Martha are going through photos, and one of them has at least a triple fold out, and Martha says, "Oh, the famed Lincoln log." Who thinks this is funny? I tell you who doesn't. Me. Every dude that is shown is some sort of bad, dumb, alcoholic, whatever. Samuel Adams is basically a one-man Animal House, completely consumed with love of beer. This stupid movie is saying that beer is why the British are against the colonies, because independence. What the heck? None of this is funny. Like, it's so frustrating. I had to pause to see how much was left, because at this point I already feel like this movie has been on forever, and unfortunately it has over an hour remaining. After George Washington recruits Samuel Adams, they then find Paul Revere. I don't know, what appears to be like a Fast and Furious parody, outlaw horse racing crap. Remember how I said every dude is treated badly? Well, Paul Revere might be the weirdest dude yet. It is shown that he can talk to animals. I mean, maybe, or he's just nuts. I'm not sure which. Every time I think this movie has reached the weirdest, the movie pulls another stupid rabbit out of its crazy hat. Thomas Edison is a Chinese woman accused of being a sorcerer. None of this is good. I wish I hadn't chosen to watch this movie for the channel. I haven't been this disappointed in an animated movie since I watched Sausage Party, which I seriously did not like. George Washington immediately gives up command to Thomas Edison as soon as she agrees to help the team. That feels very on brand for this crap. Geronimo is the next recruit, and they play a hype package for him, and it is strange. He is putting his fingers in poo and is dancing in water with a bear. Do you believe in miracles? This movie finally made me smile. Not laugh, but smile, when Washington calls Geronimo's tribe the Sasquatch. This feels like so much rinse repeat with the constant picking up team members gimmick. We take a break from the same old same when we see the king arrive to the colonies. He is shown to have a hover throne, and it drives me nuts. This thing is all over the place, no consistency at all. I can't stand this world. Like, it's one thing to change from history. That's okay. But how is any of this even? I don't know. I don't like it. None of the jokes are hitting. The movie has a whole bit about Vietnam that is pointless and lame. And again, Benedict Arnold gets all the witty lines. Whoever wrote this really must think he is great. Must be Tony the friggin' Tiger or whatever. Geronimo gets bitten by werewolf Benedict Arnold, and he cuts off his own arm. Geronimo is potentially the least dumb man, no good man, but at least, he's somewhat intelligent. I mean, the whole movie is basically saying girls rule and boys drool, I guess. Martha Washington tries to hype up her husband and calls him George Bon Jovi Washington. Why? What even is this? That had no relevance, and Martha is a major airhead. It is hard to take her seriously. It's hard to take any of this seriously, or with any kind of, confidence. I'm not saying serious, it's a drama, but, I can't believe in any of these people because they're so stupid. Paul Revere says he knows a blacksmith, and this is the most obvious bit they've done. Clearly, the blacksmith will be a black dude, probably named Smith, right? The British seized all the silver in the colonies. God, this thing is so boring. The blacksmith, who I was right about, obviously, he needs 3,000 spoons to make one bullet to stop the werewolf, Benedict Arnold, blah, blah, blah. Was a Titanic reference really needed? I think not. So many so-called not funny jokes. Please stop with John 3:16, not funny jokes. Abraham Lincoln comes to George Washington in his dreams and talks about the final fight, and all I want is for this movie to come to an end already. I've never understood why bad guys knock out heroes, allowing them to awaken and come for revenge, especially when said bad guy has already established that he's not opposed to killing. Well, let me take that one back. Good job, King, for calling out Benedict Arnold, who allowed George Washington to live. This tiniest little piece of good writing has ensured that this movie will not get the lowest possible rating of hate, because when the King calls out Benedict Arnold, Arnold does actually give a semi-coherent reason for allowing George Washington to live, which is he wants to have, or he allowed him to live to have George Washington bring all of his allies or rebels all at once so that the King can kill them all at once and stop the uprising. So I was like, all right, fine. Mildest of most mild, good jobs movie. But once again, I'm irritated because the King has an odd soccer ball called Manchester that has teeth and a tongue. None of it makes sense. It's not funny. Why is the soccer ball acting like a dog and also alive-ish? I've never been a fan of self-referential humor. I didn't like it in 22 Jump Street, and I don't like it here. This movie is not smart like it thinks it is. Saying the definition of privilege is putting your message in a cartoon while you put your message in a cartoon is not intelligent. It's not fun. It's not witty. It's not anything other than frustrating. George takes the team to Lincoln's log cabin, and once again, Thomas Edison must be the smartest person, the bestest evers, yay, yay, yay. Not only does the King have a hover throne, but now it is revealed that he has a holographic projection ability. Why? Why, oh why is this happening? Paul Revere is treated so badly. He tries to sacrifice himself, but fails, and his horse sacrifices itself, and then they become like a human-horse hybrid thing. I'm struggling so hard to get to the finish line. I've paused so many times, and mercifully at this point there's less than a half an hour remaining. George Washington plays Freebird on an electric guitar and calls it the national anthem. This is painful stuff. Benedict Arnold has a mildly amusing line to the British, which is, "Tread on them," and it made me smirk, but I still didn't laugh. This animated movie reminds me so much of HBO Max's Peacemaker because it pains me to watch it. I took more notes, but I can't bring myself to even type them up It hurts my brain thinking about this. This movie gets a 0 out of 5 stars. It is complete trash. I need to do better at looking into movies before I pop them on, because this movie was not good. It's revealed that George Washington and Martha Washington named their son Denzel Washington. How dumb can this thing get? This was an hour and 38 minutes that I'll never get back of my life. Great. Not. Come back to the channel tomorrow to see me do wrestling trivia. Come back on Thursday for comic trivia, and tune in Friday for a Friday free-for-all video of, well, random content. But if you're still here, thank you for watching. Make sure to click the link in the description of this video so that you can get yourself a copy of my 68-page graphic novel, Everlasting Survivors, Volume 1, all day long. Thank you. Later.